Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to day 2 of our masterclass 5 days to creating a brand new self image. Yesterday, we had an incredible time. So, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. But please make sure that you go back and you watch the recording from yesterday so that you can be aligned with what is happening today. Now, we're going to go straight into today's session. My name is Agyei, and I'm the CEO and founder of Inside Job Academy. Inside Job Academy is an organization that has been created to help you as an individual and your business organizations achieve your goals and your dreams. You know, this information that I'm going to be sharing with you right now is information that has been passed down. This is 150 years worth of information. You know, just giving you a short, rundown. Andrew Carnegie was one of the richest men in the world. And he commissioned a young news reporter at the time called Napoleon Hill, giving him the mandate to go and find the secret for success, to go and interview some of the most successful individuals and find out the common traits that they have among themselves. Napoleon Hill, went on to do this work and wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill then mentored and worked with L. Nightingale, an absolutely brilliant mind when it comes to human potential. And he mentored the legend, the one and only Bob Proctor. And I'm working with Bob Proctor. I'm using the material that was handed down to him to be able to provide you with a blueprint to success. Now, you have to understand this, that there are laws to success that if you follow, you'll be able to achieve absolutely anything that you want. Like Bob Proctor says, a mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps brings it out of you. So my question to you is, who are you? Who are you? Now, when this question is normally asked, people default to telling people their names. That my name is, and your name. People go by define themselves through whether their parents. I'm a parent, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm an uncle, I'm an auntie. Some even go to define themselves by their career. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an engineer, I'm a hairdresser, I'm an architect, I'm a football player. But I'm here to let you know that if those were your definitions, your name, your career, that's great. But if that's the only definition for yourself, your own definition for who you are is then pretty average, just like everyone else. And guess what? When you define yourself by average things, then it's no surprise that you are going to end up getting average results, just like the rest of the world. And most people don't even define themselves through, their careers or their names, but some actually define themselves based on the results that they currently have. And especially if they are negative results, that's even a much more dangerous place to be. I'm here to remind you that the universe is governed by laws. Laws govern the way in which this universe is run. And this is not just, it doesn't differ when it comes to success. Now, there's a law of consistency and commitment. Now, this law says that we are committed to remain consistent with who we believe we are. And who we believe we are is largely based on the definitions that we have for ourselves. You are who you say you are. You are powerful when you say you are powerful. You're a leader when you say you're a leader. You are a force to be reckoned with when you say you are. You are who you say you are. The fact is that your character your thinking, your beliefs, the definition of who you say you are, the script you write out for yourselves are a critical part of what determines your level of success. Like we mentioned yesterday, it's not enough to be in the right place at the right time. You have to be the right person with the right attitude, with the right definition, in the right place at the right time. You know, in order for you to change the fruits on a tree, you can't just pluck the fruits expecting different fruits to appear. In order for you to change the fruits, you must first change the roots. In order for you to change what is visible, you must first change what is invisible. And in this analogy, the fruits represent your results. You cannot try and change your results by looking at outward things. In order for you to change your results, you must go to what's invisible. You must go to the mind, because you have to understand that money is a result. Wealth is a result. Health is a result. Illness is a result. Your weight is a result. And we live in a world of cause and effect. And this is why you are here today. 5 days to creating a new self-image. Because the results that you have now are a direct reflection of the image that you hold in your subconscious mind. Now, yesterday, you were all given an assignment, and that assignment was to write a script 6 months from now in the present tense. Now, it's important that you write in the present tense. Don't write that I will or I won't. Write it as if it's happening right now. So if you haven't done it, go and watch number 1, day 1, and make sure that you do this assignment, because what is easy to do is also easy not to do. And it's so important that you take action. So once you've written it, make sure you take a photo and post it in the Inside Job Academy Facebook group. So that leads us on to today, day 2 of 5 days with Michael Agyei on self-image. Now, we're living in an age of information. Information is easily accessible to the average individual. And there's so many how-tos out there. When you go there, how to do this, how to do that, so many how-tos. Now, if achieving any goal was all within the how-tos, if the how-tos were enough, if the information of how to do something was enough, then we would all be rich, skinny, and happy. So, because we're all not rich, skinny, and happy, we have to realize that it's less about the how-tos, and it's really more about who you are as a person. Because we all know that if we want different results, we know that we should not be doing the same things. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And we know this. So why is it that we know what we should or shouldn't do, but we just don't do it? And that's because there is something that Bob coins the knowing doing gap. That the things you want to do, you don't do it. And the things you don't want to do, that is what you do. And today we're going to be breaking down why is that and how you can shorten this gap of knowing and doing. You have to understand that the educational system is based on what you know, teaching you knowledge of things that you know. That's what the educational system is based on. Giving you information after information after information, and then it's your task to remember those information and regurgitate that information in exams. And you can all think about in high school or secondary school, some of the smartest people in your class. And because they had the ability to retain information and give that information out, we all deem them that they are the ones who are going to be the most successful because they know so much. They can break down algebra and trigonometry. They can, give you the chemical formula for photosynthesis. So when you looked in the high school book, they had underneath their names, billionaire, astronaut, all of these aspirational goals. But we realize that there are two types of people. One can be a walking around encyclopedia of knowledge and yet not be an effective human being. We all know individuals who are very smart. They know a lot, but they're not as successful as we may deem. And then we have a second group of people who are illiterate, but then become multi-millionaires. They may not know particular information or knowledge, but they are effective at doing what they need to do in order to gain the wealth. And why is that? We're about to break it down. There are two parts of the mind. We have the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is what gathers information. Yeah, we gather information in the conscious mind. This is where knowledge enters in. This is where we use our intellectual mind. This is where we generate ideas and we generate thoughts. But just because we have the ability to gather information, these individuals don't necessarily do what they know how to do. There is a gap between what we know and what we do. And as we get older, this gap seems to get wider because we know more, but then we do less. Think about it. Children, many of them, they know what to do when it comes to good behavior. And when you ask them, Nathan, why did you throw that glass on the floor? I don't know. But you did it. Yes, I did it. I know. But why did you do it? I don't know. And as we get older, this gap increases. We do certain things that we don't know why we did it. But why did you do it? And this gap between what we know and what we do leads to frustration. At work, we know that we need to make 10 calls a day, but we just don't do it. We know that we need to hand in this assignment, but we just don't do it. We know that we have written these resolutions coming into the new year, but we just don't do it. And it leads to frustration. When we're trying to live healthy, we decide today that we're going to live healthy. But we're given fast food and we eat it. Why? We don't know. Do you know that it's not good for me, for you? Yes, I know. But why do you do it? I don't know. Do you know that in America alone, over $60 billion a year is spent on teaching employees, giving them information, teaching them what to do? 60 billion. Giving them information. But individuals still are not able to do what they're meant to do. Like I said, the conscious mind is what gathers information. But you need to understand that it is your subconscious mind that causes the body to do what it does. And it's our behavior that determines our results. So the subconscious mind impacts the body, gives the body a certain vibration that causes the body to develop a particular behavior, and our behavior determines our results. So if we want to change, we shouldn't look at the conscious mind of what we know. We need to go to the primary cause of our results, which is the subconscious mind. And it's when we change what is in our subconscious mind, does it equal a permanent change? Like we discussed yesterday, in our subconscious mind is our self-image. In our subconscious mind is what we call the paradigm. This is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. You have to understand that a good amount of percentage of the things that you do are habits. You do it without consciously thinking about it. Think about it like this. Do you know anyone that is late? And they are always late. Whatever they do, they are always late. That habit is in their paradigm. They can set an alarm. They can get someone to phone them. But their habit is what determines their results. So being late or even being on time is a habit. Even your morning routine is within your paradigm, is within your subconscious mind. That is a habit. You have to realize that knowing is not enough. Just knowing is not enough. Results are the name of the game. And we know that by their fruits, we shall know them. By their results, we get to understand who the individuals are. Next time you go out, whether you own a business and you have employees, or whether you work with other colleagues, look at their behavior, look at their results, and you get a glimpse of who they are. We are controlled by behavioral patterns. Our paradigm is what controls us. This is why you can consciously know what it is that you want. You can consciously know what it is that you need to do. But until we change the paradigm, until we change that self-image, we will always be controlled. A common error is trying to change results by changing behavior. When this happens, the change is generally temporary. Although behavior causes results, it is a secondary cause. The primary cause is the paradigm. Now, there are two known ways to change the paradigm. Number one is the constant space repetition of ideas that are essentially opposite to the paradigm. You can't just take away a paradigm, but you need to replace it with new habits, and you need to constantly repeat it. That way, you are taking information from your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. So repetition of information, that repetition. And number two is a personal experience of an emotional impact. When something drastic happens in your life that can cause a paradigm to change, something drastic. It could be the loss of a loved one can cause you to change a paradigm. It could be maybe you suddenly losing your job can cause you to change a paradigm. A personal experience that has a huge emotional impact on your life. The knowing doing gap. You have to realize and understand that knowing is not enough. Many individuals have a library of books, They know the information, but just knowing it, information gathering in your conscious mind is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. How? By replacing some of the ideas in our paradigm with a new idea self-image. And this is why it's so important that yesterday's task was to write down in present tense the script of your life that you want to be at in 6 months' time. Write it down, and the constant repetition of reading it over and over again, becoming emotionally involved with the idea of who that person is, being willing to do what it takes, is what's going to cause you to change some of the ideas of your paradigm. And that's why it's so important that you don't just have the right information around you, but you need to be willing to do what it takes. Because what is easy to do is also easy not to do. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. El Nightingale. I'm going to repeat that again. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. Like I said, there's so many things that we do through our paradigm that are habitual behavior. And the morning routine is one of them. My question to you on this hour is, what is your morning routine? It's one of the most important aspects of your day. Why? Because if you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the morning, you win the day. And if you win the day, you win the week. You're able to win the week, you win the month. You win the month, you win the quarter. And if you win the quarter, you win the year. This is why it's so important that you have a morning routine that will set you up for greatness. It's so important that you are intentional about the way in which you wake up. Get yourself into a powerful state in the morning. You want to be able to do things that allow you to be able to charge yourself up to be able to win the morning and win the day. Because the better your attitude, the better your results. Some of us are so unhappy. Our alarm goes off and we are in a attitude, that is not really fulfitting to be able to achieve our goals. We roll up out of bed because we may be in a job that we don't like, an occupation that stresses us out. And that is where we focus our energy and attention on. But you have to understand this, that if you know exactly what it is that you want, that if you're clear about where it is that you're going, that will give you the right excitement to even be in a job. Some people are upset because they're not getting paid the money that they want, not realizing that your job ain't the one that determines how much you get paid. Your job is just a vehicle to give you the money that you attract. So it's so important that you get yourself into a powerful state in the morning. And here are some things that you can do. Start with gratitude. Wake up being grateful. Write down on a piece of paper 5 things that you're grateful for right now. Because gratitude puts you in a positive vibration. And write out 5 things that you are grateful for that are not yet here yet. But speak the things that are not here as if they were. Faith. So you can say, I am so happy and grateful now that I am. You can state what you have. Write these down and don't make sure that you don't leave your bed without this. Have I am statements. Look yourself in the mirror and declare that I am powerful, that I am strong, I am a great leader, I am a force to be reckoned with, I am intentional. Speak these words into your life. You can drink some warm water to help you get started. Set an intention for the day. Get yourself involved in maybe 20 minutes of exercise. It's been scientifically proven. If you get yourself involved in at least 20 minutes of exercise, that will allow you to have the right hormones to be able to win the morning and win the day. And a question that you can ask yourself when you wake up, before you even start the day, ask yourself this question. If I had to relive this day, what would I do differently? Before you even start it, imagine that you've already lived out this day and answer this question. If I could relive this day, what would I do differently? Well, I would wake up at this time. I would do this. I would get myself into a powerful state and then live out exactly what it is that you have said. The word autosuggestion was a term coined by Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. He said that no thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. No thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of autosuggestion. So if you consciously have an idea of who you are, consciously have the script of who you want to be, in order for you to get it into your subconscious mind, it can't happen without the principle of autosuggestion. He says that your ability to use the principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon your capacity to concentrate upon a given desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. You have to have the capacity to be able to focus, concentrate upon a given desire, knowing exactly what it is that you want, and focus your energy and everything that you have on it. Focus is so key. No matter how much power you have within you, if you don't have the ability to focus, you won't be able to achieve it. Look how powerful the sun is. The sun is millions of miles away, but it is so powerful. It warms up the globe. But if you take a magnifying glass and you focus just a ray of sunlight onto one spot of paper, what happens to the paper? Write it down. Let me know in a chat box. If you put a paper in the sun, nothing happens. But if you take a magnifying glass and you focus the energy of the sun, just one sun ray, in the magnifying glass on the paper, what would happen? It will set the paper alight. So imagine if you have a given desire of what it is that you want, and you grow that capacity to concentrate upon that desire until it becomes a burning obsession, using the principle of autosuggestion, getting it from your conscious into your subconscious. The subconscious will then impact your body, put it in the right vibration in order to attract what it is that you want, giving you the results that you want. So here it is. You have to understand that you have absolute control of what gets passed on. The subconscious mind alone doesn't have the ability to be able to reject. It accepts everything. But when you get impulses of thoughts that are perceived by your five senses and it comes to your conscious mind, you then have the opportunity to either reject or accept it. But if you use the principle of autosuggestion, repeating it in its present tense, speaking these things as if they were, constantly becoming emotionally involved in the idea, what happens is that you pass on that information into your subconscious mind. You have absolute control. And this is how you shorten the knowing doing gap. By understanding that your subconscious mind is what gathers information. It's your conscious mind that gathers information, but it's your subconscious mind that determines your behavior, which determines your results. So in order to cause a permanent change, don't try and change the behavior, trying to be on time. You have to be able to change the paradigm using the principle of autosuggestion. Read that chapter in Think and Grow Rich. The constant repetition, being emotionally involved, will allow you to be able to achieve those goals. Today's assignment is this. I want you to write out a goal. What is it that you want? And I want you to use your imagination. Before you do this assignment, play some music, maybe serenity background music or a gratitude background music on YouTube. A nice soft music, spa music. Sit down for around 20 minutes while this plays. And I want you to fantasize. Use your imagination, which is one of your higher faculties, to be able to picture the life that you want. I want you to understand that there's no limits in this exercise. There's absolutely no limits. Imagine if you were in the land of possibility. Right now, I'm in Dubai. And when I came into the airport, it said Dubai, where anything is possible. You have to realize that Dubai is a desert. It's a desert. But they've been able to create a man-made beach in a desert. The tallest building in the world, the largest building, a mall in the world. Why? Because one man sat down, used his imagination to fantasize what it is that he wants. And through the principle of autosuggestion, he was able to plant these ideas in his subconscious mind that then caused what was in his mind to become reality. Because if you see in your mind, you can have it in your hand. So sit down for 20 minutes. Think about the life that you want. And then write it down. Just write it down. Write it down. And then pick one of these things that is the most important to you. One of these goals. And I want you to write out this one goal 100 times in the present tense. And you want to say, I am so happy and grateful now that I am, that I have. Write it in the present tense 100 times. Become emotionally involved in this idea. Take a picture and put it in the Facebook group. That's today's session. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the terror barrier. Now, the terror barrier is an absolutely amazing concept that if you understand, you will be able to boldly go towards any of your goals and your dreams. Because when you sit down and you fantasize about what it is that you want, because you've never done it before, what happens is that a fear comes in you. You become afraid because you're stepping out your comfort zone. And what happens? Once you hit the terror barrier, you then bounce back to where you're comfortable, what it is that you know, and you never get to pass that terror barrier. Fear has sent people to the grave with books that were meant to be written, songs that were meant to be recorded, inventions that were meant to be created, because individuals hit the terror barrier and were not able to break through. So tomorrow, you don't want to miss tomorrow, because I'm going to be talking about, what does the terror barrier say? What does it indicate? How can you conquer the terror barrier? And what exactly is it? So I'd like to thank you all. Once again, my name is Agyei, and thank you for being part of this 5 days. I'm telling you this, if you apply the principles of the things of what it is that I'm telling you to do, your life will never be the same again. That being said, remember that you are not your name. You are not your results. You are who you say you are. Write the script of your life. Write where it is that you want to go. And remember that once you're able to replace that paradigm and these ideas that you become emotionally involved with enter your subconscious mind, everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything, changes. Take care and God bless.